If you're relocating to the Rochester, Minnesota area for a healthcare career, especially with the Mayo Clinic, this may be the most important housing video that you ever watch. Because every single week, we talk to physicians, residents, nurses, administrators, and healthcare professionals who all say some version of the same thing. I didn't realize this is where people like me usually live. And that realization almost always comes after they've already bought or rented. And that's when regret starts. But it doesn't have to. I'm Kelly Domaille with Domaille Real Estate at eXp Realty, right here in Rochester, Minnesota. Well, I shouldn't say right here. Actually, I'm on vacation right now in Puerto Rico, but today we're talking about Rochester. And my husband Bruce and I, we specialize in healthcare relocation, especially people moving here for demanding high-pressure medical careers. And after years of doing this, I can tell you this with confidence. Most relocation regret isn't about the house. It's about choosing a location based on commute instead of choosing it based on how you actually live. Before we jump in, like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please drop a comment with your role in healthcare and where you're moving from. I read every single one of those. Now, most people assume that Mayo employees all live close to the hospital or the downtown campus. And what actually happens depends on their lifestyle, their schedule, and their career stage. So let's walk through how that plays out in real life. Now, early career healthcare professionals, they live for efficiency, recovery, and flexibility. This includes residents, fellows, nurses on rotating shifts, and healthcare professionals in their first few years at Mayo. Your days are long, your schedule changes, your mental load is heavy. And at this stage, what matters most isn't space, it's friction. Early career professionals tend to do best in areas of Rochester where life feels simple and manageable. Short routines, less maintenance, easier winter mornings, and just less decision fatigue. That's why many start in more central parts of Rochester, including downtown, adjacent to neighborhoods and nearby established areas where getting home quickly after a long shift matters more than having extra square footage or a bigger yard. Now, life here looks like this. Work, recover, sleep, repeat. Quick access to coffee, minimal responsibility outside of work. This phase works until it doesn't. And that's when shift happens faster than most people actually expect. Now, as your career stabilizes, your priorities are going to shift towards space, structure, and separation. This is the phase we see with attending physicians and advanced practice providers and healthcare professionals whose schedules just become more predictable, often alongside with growing families. And this is where an important truth comes in. Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, and Southeast Rochester all offer many of the same core benefits. And across these areas, Mayo employees are often looking for larger homes. They want more storage and garage space. They want quieter neighborhoods. They want better separation between work and home life. They want access to parks, schools, and daily amenities. And at this stage, the decision rarely is about which quadrant is best. It's about which area fits your lifestyle best. Some people prioritize proximity to specific schools. Some want larger lots and space between neighbors. Some prefer newer construction and modern layouts. Others value established neighborhoods and more mature trees. Commute times are usually manageable from all sides of Rochester, but how your day feels once you're home is what really is going to drive your decision. This is when people stop asking, how fast can I get to work? And they start asking, how can I actually unplug when I get home? Well, a quick chat with us will help guide you to your right location. When that question gets answered correctly, regret disappears. Now, some healthcare professionals make an additional intentional shift toward newer and more planned living. These are often staff physicians or specialists and leaders who want their home environment to feel calm, clean, and low maintenance after demanding work days. They're okay with planning. They accept winter driving, and they value modern design and efficiency. For these buyers, parts of Rochester with newer development feel right, not because they're better, but because they support how these professionals want to live outside of the clinic environment. Now, the key difference between people who love this choice and people who regret it is expectations. Those who plan for winter, traffic patterns, and daily routines are going to thrive. And those who don't often feel friction that they didn't anticipate. So if you're relocating to Rochester for a healthcare role, download our free relocation starter kit below. It walks you through these decisions so that you don't have to learn them the hard way. Then there's the move outside of Rochester, where lifestyle becomes the priority. Many Mayo Clinic employees eventually decide that they want their home life to feel completely separate from work. That's where places like Byron, Casson Manorville, and Stewartville come into the picture. Now, Byron often appeals to physicians and healthcare professionals who want newer homes, strong schools, and a polished community feel while staying close to Rochester, since it's only about 8 to 10 miles west. Now, Casson Manorville, which is just about 15 to 20 miles west of Rochester, that attracts those who want more space, value, and maybe a quieter pace, with evenings that feel slower and weekends that feel open. And Stewartville, that works well for healthcare professionals who want community, accessibility, and a small town feel without feeling isolated from Rochester. This great community is only about 10 to 15 miles south of Rochester, with the Rochester International Airport directly in between. Now, people who love living outside of Rochester, they plan their schedules. They understand winter and they value the separation between work identity and home life. And those who regret it usually underestimated how demanding healthcare really is. Here's the pattern we see over and over again. Mayo Clinic employees don't choose where they live based on maps. They choose based on how much energy they really have left at the end of the day. Some need efficiency, some need quiet, some need space, and some need separation. And these needs are going to change as careers evolve. So where do Mayo Clinic employees actually live long term? Well, they live where their life works, not just their commute. They choose homes that support their schedule, neighborhoods that match their stress load, and routines that help them recover, not just function. There is no single right answer, but there is a right fit for each stage of your career. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't want to get this wrong, that's exactly why we make these videos. If you're relocating to Rochester for Mayo Clinic, download our free relocation starter kit below. It walks you through all you need to know step by step. I'm Kelly Domaille with Domaille Real Estate. We live here, we work here, and we help healthcare professionals just like you move here with clarity and confidence. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.